Nathan, I got to tell you, first off, thanks for holding tried and true with me. They just keep seeming to drop
Always.
like flies. Yeah.
Always.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate it. Yeah. This is one of the best movies I've ever seen.
How does this movie exist?
Yeah. Okay.
It's crazy.
Today we watched from 1994. Same guy who made the 80s movie Mac and Me. If you guys have ever seen that dumpster fire, you should. Today we're talking about Tammy and the T-Rex. There's a few things we need to discuss about this film before actually talking about it.
Yeah.
So without taking up too much time, story goes, the movie had originally been made with all of this gore and stuff, and then the gore had been removed. It had been released as a PG or PG-13 rated movie. I'm sure it has to be PG-13 because there's a little bit of language and some sexual stuff in it. Yeah, so it got released, and then the fine people at Vinegar Syndrome years later have found the original cut, of this film, and they released it for us. Let's go ahead and here, do me a solid. Read that top paragraph there, and let's let people know kind of what this is about.
Tammy is a popular high school cheerleader whose new boyfriend, Michael, might be the love of her life. But Tammy's jealous ex, Billy, won't stand for anyone coming between him and his girl. So he and his friends kidnap Michael, leaving him to be mauled by a lion in a local wildlife reserve. Comatose and at death's door, Michael's body is stolen from the hospital by a mad scientist, Dr. Wachtenstein, who extracts his brain and implants it into a giant robotic T-Rex. Horrified by his predicament and new dinosaur body, he escapes from the doctor's lab and begins brutally killing his former bullies. Meanwhile, Tammy and her best friend Byron start searching for a suitable human corpse in which to retransplant Michael's brain.
Guys, no words can explain how fucking awesome this movie is. So we've got Denise Richards.
Denise Richards, God bless her.
God bless
she's
her.
Like, to me, she's got to be like top 5. She's at the top.
Okay.
Especially of the 90s. I'd say she's the hottest chick in the 90s. Maybe one of the hottest of all time. I got a thing for Denise Richards. Definitely.
Oh, yeah, sounds like it. Yeah. So we've got Denise Richards, and we've also got the late, great Paul Walker.
Paul Walker.
Yeah.
Drove off into that sunset, too. A little too soon for me.
Yeah. Yeah, so Denise Richards is playing Tammy, and Paul Walker is playing Michael. So these are our two main.
Yeah. Just to point out, they do call her Tanny in the credits.
Yeah, the
Even
beginning,
in
the title comes up Tammy with two N's and a Y when the movie's called Tammy and the T-Rex. Anyway,
Fuck it. I don't know.
Fuck it. Yeah,
we paid the guy once. Just go with it.
So yeah, we start off. This is a high school setting. It's Denise Richards and all these other. I'm assuming like a cheerleading squad.
Yeah, it's dancing.
And they're dancing and everything. And then Paul Walker comes in, who he's on the football team. We think they're kind of dating. Come to find out, her, I guess, boyfriend or ex-boyfriend.
Yeah, I feel like
Billy.
it's the ex that she got rid of, but he won't go away.
Yeah, he won't go away, and he is a true asshole. Like he really. That guy did a great job at making me hate him, which I've said that before. I feel like it's kind of hard for characters to nail that for me, but I was like, damn, I just really hope he dies. Paul Walker has gotten Denise Richards a yellow rose. It was real sweet, wasn't it?
Yeah, with a little necklace.
Yeah. And she was like, I can't take this. I can't take it. And
He'll kill you.
Yeah, he'll kill you. And we're like, who's going to kill who?
He's like, I don't care.
Yeah. I don't give a fuck. Did you see me do those lunges at football practice?
Look at my midriff right now. My bare post-football midriff.
This movie is very, very 90s. In all the greatest ways. So, yeah, he's giving her this rose. She says she can't accept it. Whoever this person is going to kill him if he catches him. Paul Walker takes the rose and bites it. This is kind of important for later. Bites the rose, and then they're laughing it up, and then we meet Billy.
Yeah, they just show up right then at the perfect time in front of the school in their convertible or whatever. They all jump out.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
what are you doing?
Yeah, it's a whole car full of Billy and his goons, basically.
And they're all kind of. They've got the, what's the word?
It's like they were trying to go for that like
Going
punk
for
rock
punk,
kind of thing
yeah.
or something like that. And of course, in all these fucking movies, the punk people are like just really big assholes.
But really lame assholes.
Really fucking lame. Really lame. And yeah, so they begin to get into this fight. And there's a really awesome long sequence of both Billy and Michael holding each other's groins, their balls, and it's kind of like who's gonna let go first, sort of a deal. A couple of cops come up, and I'll let you, because you were a little bit more familiar with one of these police officers has been in a lot of stuff, and
Shit, I don't remember his name.
It doesn't matter. He really doesn't.
He plays a homeless guy in every movie in the 80s and 90s. He was in Escape from New York. He was in Slimeball Ballerama.
Yeah. So if you watch a review of that, he was the janitor, the guy that kept getting locked in the closet and then had the hearing problem.
He was in Back to the Future 1 and 2. So yeah, he's been in a whole bunch of shit.
Yeah.
But they're just these like, they're playing like kind of the dopey, kind of sleazy, corrupt, kind of country good old boy. Yeah, you know what I mean? It's like, because they make all these, crude jokes and I don't know.
Yeah, a lot of like homophobic jokes and a lot of. There was one part where it wasn't there something racist about a black guy, or did I just? I don't know. Either way, they're those people. They're referred to in the movie as country yokels. They're just dopey, but they are fun on screen because they have that whole dynamic of they are dumb and
they're doing a little bit of a Barney Fife kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, at one point, one of them takes out a bullet and puts it in, and I can't remember what he says, but that was actually a Barney Fife thing. Like,
I don't think I remember this part. What?
When, like, at one point they're getting their guns out and he has to put a bullet into his gun because he didn't have it loaded.
I didn't even catch that.
But that's actually an old like Andy Griffith bit, because Andy wouldn't let Barney carry his gun loaded.
Yeah.
So he had his one bullet, like, I gotta get my bullet ready,
Nice. All right, so they have this thing, and eventually the cops are trying to break this fight up. That's the reason we brought them up. And eventually they get split up. Paul Walker's laughing, and the cops are like, well, you ain't got no balls, because he's supposed to be in pain. And he's like, I had on a cup from football practice, so.
The Billy's like, oh, fuck, I'll kill you.
Yeah.
I'll fucking kill you. The cops got him. They're like, the school put a restraining order on you, Billy. You can't be here. A whole school.
Yeah. The whole school put one on it. And, man, he's very handsy and grabsy and stuff with Denise Richards. Like, this guy really is an asshole. Like, he's like trying to pull her around and everything. She's, no, Billy, no. Of course, he's like, give me that pussy. He's saying all sorts of crazy shit. He doesn't say that, but yeah. So let's chug right along. We are introduced to Dr. Stein. Yes, and his nurse friend who looks like she's from fucking outer space.
Yeah, like kind of an outer space dominatrix kind of.
Yeah. That's a very futuristic dominatrix. Yeah.
This scene is just
take it away.
It's
for a
so
minute.
ridiculous because there's just this kind of warehouse, and then you have this big animatronic T-Rex, not quite as big as an actual T-Rex would have been, about. Not your Jurassic Park size. It's but maybe half that. Little maybe but it's just standing there, and he just walks in with his sidekick lady, and then the little nerdy guy and this big muscled up dude, and just starts ranting like he's Dr. Frankenstein. Yes, finally. Show me its strength.
And it's hysterical.
Yeah. And he's just screaming in front of this thing. Like,
yeah. The small little dude, he's like, so I guess he's kind of the brains behind creating this robotic Tyrannosaurus Rex. So the doctor is like, like you were saying, screaming out, like, show me this. So we get to see, his mouth move and his arms move and his legs move. and all this stuff.
Show me its power. And the muscle guy gives it a barbell with like 245 plates on each end.
Yeah.
And the little arms come out. And they use this thing the whole movie. Like, they have these gloves, that kind of come up. So you'll have the head here, and then you'll see the dinosaur arms come up beside it, and it grabs the barbell and then throws it over the guy's head toward the doctor, and he just like jumps back out of the way. And then they give it a log. Show me his teeth.
Yeah, it breaks
bites
the log in half. God,
it looks terrible too.
It's as cute as it is bad. It's really awesome.
So, and this is where you start to see the tone of this movie, and it very much is like a PG kids comedy from the 90s. Mm-hmm. That's the feeling I got the whole time. And I mentioned to you is like a Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen movie. Part of the tone is that kind of cheesy, kind of corny humor. Mm-hmm. But then there's like ridiculous stuff added into it, along with like some of the crude humor too.
Sure.
It's a very weird tone. I don't know. I've never seen a movie like this before.
Yes, it's strange as fuck, and same here. Yes, go watch this movie. I mean, literally, like, spend your fucking money. Go to Vinegar Syndrome, because I'm pretty sure that's the only way you can get it is through their website. Go there, order this thing. I swear to God, you will not. We've got the doctor.
The doctor's saying we got to have a real brain. Yes. I don't just want you to control, because the guy up in the room, he's controlling the robot T-Rex robotically. Mm-hmm. He's like, but we can implant a brain and it'll revolutionize everything.
All right.
And so now he wants a brain. So we cut back to
we cut back to reality. Michael has snuck into Tammy's house through the bedroom window. She calls him and is like, "Hey, I want you to come over." So
I really want somebody with me.
Yeah.
Tonight.
So this whole time, Paul Walker, he's laying in bed listening to like the corniest fucking which I thought was part of the score. It's like this very 90s. I don't want to say like R&B, but it was kind of like this.
He's got that necklace he tried to give her on his hand. He's like gazing at it. Like,
yeah. And there's this music playing in a way that you would think, like I said, is part of the score. But then his phone rings. All of a sudden, he reaches over, turns off his boombox or whatever the fuck it is. It's like, oh, he's just having a romantic moment with this necklace, dreaming about Denise Richards,
Yeah, like you do.
Yeah, right. And so she calls him, and she's like, I don't want to be alone right now. I want you to come over. So he gets super fucking excited because he's been chasing that ass for a while, and yeah, so he gets all his stuff, not before grabbing a condom. He grabs a condom, yeah. And then he goes over there, sneaks through the window. He ends up knocking a bunch of shit over because he's clumsy as fuck and nervous and, really excited about, I guess, what's hopefully about to happen. And then Billy and his gang show up.
Well, the two girls, the evil chicks.
That's right. They see him
crawling in, and they're like, "What are we gonna do?
Yeah,
let's get Billy."
Yeah. Yeah, so they decide to call Billy, and him and his whole gang shows up.
It's like 8 or 9 people.
Dude, there's a lot of them, yeah. And the dad, he sees them show up, and he's like, "Oh, it's Billy," and the mom's like, "Just call the police." And he's like, "I'll handle this." And then they all just bust the door, just push him aside,
and they just run in. They just go, "What? Whoa, no!"
Yeah. So they're running up the stairs to get there. Paul Walker has already left he's exited the window. He's left the building, and they see his jacket in there, and they look outside, and then this chase starts happening. Paul Walker on foot, the rest of them in cars. They catch him, throw him in the trunk, and they bring him to an animal. I don't know what the hell it was. It was like it was a gated thing. They had to bust a lock open to get in here, and it's where a bunch of wild animals and stuff.
There is actually a place like this in Florida called Lion Country Safari. I guess it's still there. I've been there a bunch of times when I was a kid.
Where they just roam free?
Yeah, it was like driving through like a fake African savanna. The lions would just be out there.
Cool.
And it's just like, keep your windows up. But, they had like lions and jaguars all in the same kind of area. So, yeah, they had beaten them up, and they just dump them out there and leave.
Yeah.
And he does get, he gets mauled by the lion does get him pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And there is a mauling scene. It looks like it eaten his face. Like I thought, oh, he's going to be disfigured and But we cut to him he's just in a coma.
Yeah, he's in the hospital. He's in a coma. Somehow there was no cranial like damage done. Yeah, that was kind of a bizarre choice, especially with all the blood and guts that we had in this. It's like, why couldn't you just do something to make it look like? Anyway, yeah. So he's in there with Denise Richards and their friend. I can't remember their friend's name.
Byron.
Byron.
We should bring up Byron. He
was
is
really funny.
Definitely.
He's like the comic relief.
There is. I brought up the Damon Wayans. In Living Color had this bit. They were these two. It was Damon Wayans and I can't remember the other guy's name, but they were like these. I mean, just over the top gay movie reviewers. Did you ever see that bit?
I've never seen it.
So they would do this thing, and it would just be like, let's say if it was Rambo, they'd just be like, I just fucking love that Rambo. And then if it was like a chick flick, they would always do this bit about hated it. Like they would always hate anything with women in it. They were like, we just want those beautiful men. And it was like, I mean, and this is the same time period as that. And it was like this kid was playing one of those characters, very flamboyantly gay character. He's like wearing daishikis the whole time, like the
That's
African,
what they're called. I was trying to think the whole time. I'm like, I know what that's called.
with like
I
the
can't
hat,
remember.
all the colorful stuff, and people even make the kind of jokes you wouldn't see in movies today. You see those.
I mean, they're lighthearted jokes even for the time. It is stuff that we obviously avoid for obvious reasons nowadays. But no, I did. I loved his character.
He's still funny. Yeah, he's a funny character.
He was funny as shit, man. He's Denise Richards' best friend, and because Michael is affiliated with Denise Richards, then Byron has accepted this guy too.
He's helping her through all this shit that goes on to this movie.
Yeah, so they're all at the hospital with. We learn that that Paul Walker has no surviving relatives except for his uncle, Uncle Bob. I think is what they call him. Uncle Bob is an alcoholic who's sitting there in the chair, passed out with a flask. And anyway, so the doctor, the evil doctor, shows up with his dominatrix nurse woman, and they're here for his brain. They act like they're going to save him. They switch something around with whatever that machine is that make sure his heart rate and everything.
Make it look like he did.
Yeah, they try to make it look. He did. They try to make it look like he's died.
The woman acts like she's giving him mouth to mouth, and then just like keeps kissing him. Even.
Oh, it's great. So they after everyone has passed out. Uncle Bob's already passed out drunk, but Tammy and Byron pass out because they're like, "Holy shit, our friend's dead." So they take the body out and they load it up in the car and they bring it back to their warehouse dinosaur facility.
And they just throw him on a slab and just cut into his head and this was great.
This is where the doctor, I think, really shined. Like the dialogue and the shit that he was saying. He's like maniacally laughing as he's sawing the top of his brain, and just saying crazy shit. That they touch the brain and do that stuff where it's like, oh, this part of the brain controls this and this.
Like, oh, this is my favorite part. And then he's got the white sheet over him, and then like his dick is going like this. He's like, every time he hits it, he's like, ooh.
Well, he did one of the things where he's like, and he like did one, and it's, oh my god, it's gold. It's fucking gold, and it's very gory during this.
Yeah,
there's blood spraying everywhere, and
saws and just pulls the whole top of his head.
Yeah, it looked good.
Yeah,
like
it was a good. It was like a plaster, Paul Walker. It looked really good.
Yeah, everything. Yeah, it looked awesome, man. It's kind of not necessary to note, but the big buff guy, it's kind of showing him to be a softie. Like he's getting like sick.
He's throwing up he's sawing into the skull. Yeah. And I mean, he pulls the whole brain out, and it does look gross with just this much of the head there.
Yeah,
and they put it in
the dinosaur. Yeah. Yep, and it's supposed to have a resting period for the brain to come back to consciousness, basically, but it doesn't. It takes a lot less time than they thought. The big dude and the robotics doctor guy, they're ordering pizza because they haven't ate all day. They're the only ones left there. They're supposed to kind of clean up the mess and get Michael back to the morgue, get his body back to the morgue. So after Pizza Guy, played by Pedro in Napoleon Dynamite, yeah. He comes, delivers the pizza, and sees the dinosaur running around, and he gets the fuck out of there. Then the dinosaur starts to eat the little guy. And did he kill
bites his head off?
Yeah, bites his fucking head off.
That's
it
our
was so
first
cool.
kill. Yeah, comes down and a lot of stringy, kind of stuff as the head separates.
Did he kill the big guy then too?
Yeah, he's the one
he squished him. Squished him. Yes. Flattened him.
Because later on they come back and they roll him up like a rug.
Yeah. It's very Looney Tunes kind of shit. It's
It's like it's just his flattened skin in clothes.
Yeah.
Its face is like, and the doctor and the woman show up, the nurse dominatrix, and they're like, "Oh, is this whatever his name is?" Like, yes, show it. We'll take it with us. We'll show it to the investors or whatever. Because he's like, he wants to show off how powerful the T-Rex is because he wants to sell it and make a bunch of money. That's his whole thing.
Yeah. I do have to make a point though, because as ridiculous as all this stuff sounds, and as ridiculous as this statement might sound, I'm going to keep urging that people watch it, because it's really, the way that it's put together is not dumb. I don't think. I mean, there's shit in it that looks really stupid and everything and really silly, but it's like, it truly is fucking enjoyable. Like,
it's made. I mean, it's made to be like an actual. It is made to be a comedy.
Yes,
and it feels really. It does to me feel like a kids' comedy, aside from
the gore.
That's why it's so cool. I mean, it doesn't have the tone of. You hear us describing it and you think, okay, this is trying to be a
serious thing.
Yeah, like a good bad movie, but no, they're actually trying to make a comedy. Mm-hmm. Some of it works and some of it doesn't, but it's a unique. You got to see it.
You have to see it.
Yeah,
like hands down. There's a few other memorable moments, and instead of breaking everything down, you get to see Denise Richards writing the dinosaur. We'll explain this part. She eventually comes to find out that is Michael, that his brain has been implanted in here. There's a really awesome scene.
Her out of the house.
Yeah, he kidnaps her, and there's a really funny scene where he's like basically trying to do like sign language kind of, or what's that game where, like, guess what I am? God, what the fuck is the name of it? Anyway, that game.
You know what we're talking about.
Where you can only
you can't
use
talk.
movements. You just can't talk.
So he's doing that with the dinosaur glove.
Yeah.
And he happened to get a rose
A yellow rose.
And he's biting it.
Yeah.
It's like doing all this. Rain.
Yeah.
Oh, brain.
Yeah.
Michael's brain.
Yeah. And she's remained extremely calm throughout this whole thing.
And then she's just immediately, oh, it's you, and is just immediately in love.
Yep.
I miss you so much. I love you.
Yep.
I love you. It's just like she's so enthusiastic. There is no, oh my God, you're a dinosaur. Mm-hmm. It's oh my God, I'm so happy. You're still alive.
It's sweet.
Yeah, it's
I like to believe that Rachel loves me that much, or you love me that much. I love you that much.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. So now we've got your crazy doctor trying to find the dinosaur. We've also got Denise Richards and Byron trying to find a new vessel, a body for Michael.
We did. I think this already happened, right? Though we did skip the fact that he did go on a rampage at a party.
Yes,
before he kidnapped her. So
we didn't talk about it.
Yeah, we can't skip that.
Okay,
because he did go to a party where Billy and all of his cronies were, and he killed them.
Yeah.
He tore that one bitch's leg off while they were having sex.
While they were fucking
in the back of the car.
Yeah, so Billy's
Billy's
plowing this girl, and
in a convertible.
She can see, because she's laying on her back, and she looks up and she can see the dinosaur coming, and she's screaming fucking bloody
she's
murder.
She's already moaning, but when it comes up, she's screaming even louder.
And then he's like, I'm good, right? I'm good, right?
Yeah. And then
I am using that next time. Oh man, that's funny.
And then he grabs her by the leg and picks her up. We don't show it, but somebody said, "Oh, I tore her leg off."
Yeah, it doesn't show that, but yeah. And then Billy starts running around trying to warn everybody, "There's a monster! Fucking everybody get out of here!" And then in the midst of that, he is killed. He's another decapitated body that we get.
Yeah, cuts one guy. He uses his feet. He cuts his guts out, but he's like holding his guts.
Yeah, it's really funny because you see it. And he's it looks like he's like trying to keep them all inside of him. And then whenever they fall, though, you just see like that he was just holding this pile of guts up against his shirt. Yeah.
So yeah, he kills all those people and runs off. So that's now we have the cops are on his trail.
Yeah.
And he takes Tammy to this barn to hide out. And then at that point, she's like, "Well, we gotta find you a body." So they go to the morgue.
Come on, guys, let's pack up our shit and go to the morgue. Yeah, they're looking for bodies, and Michael obviously is a fucking dinosaur now, so he can't get in there. So he's out in this big truck they've got outside, and
which looks so funny. They're driving this truck like with the big sides around it, but the top is off, and then you just see his head just looking up the top as they're driving down the road.
He even does some waves. So yeah, they're pulling up different dead bodies from the morgue to the window so that Michael can look in and say, I think he points down when it's a no, but he does kind of some of these things too. But yeah, so they're dragging bodies up, and none of them are making Michael happy. He doesn't want any of them.
Pulls out. This is you talk about the racial humor. They pull out this older black guy, and he's like, Michael's like, nah, and then Byron's
that was it.
He's like, "That's not racist, is it?" And she's like, "No, he just wants somebody that's good looking."
Yeah.
And at one point, they look up at one guy and they're looking underneath his sheet, and they're just like implying that he's got a small
dick. Yeah. Okay, so we're up to speed on that. God, man, there's so much crazy shit in this one. I'm having trouble keeping pace with what happened next.
I think don't the cops show up, or is it because they never find a body?
Yeah, so they're back in the barn. They're back in hiding. Yeah, and that's right, because Byron is on bicycle, and he rides.
Well, there's a big because there's a big chase scene here.
Yeah,
they jump in the truck, and the police are chasing him, and they see that it's Byron, so his dad is mad, and Sheriff Black.
So Sheriff Black is Byron's dad.
His black dad is Sheriff Black.
Totally intentional.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, totally. With the tone of this movie, that was a totally intentional choice. But yeah, so Tammy and Michael are housed up in this barn. It's kind of like their safe space. And
kind of cuddling a little.
Yeah, because Byron comes up on a bicycle.
He's got his hand on her ass as they're like looking there. He's like
as a dinosaur does.
T-Rex thing like on her ass.
So Byron rode his bike out there to bring them some food and provisions and stuff like that while they're in hiding. And the first thing that Denise Richards asked, have to point this out because it's fucking hysterical. It's a dinosaur. And Denise Richards, okay? So Byron's first question, he knocks on the door. He's like, "Hey, it's me." And she's like, "Byron?" He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Are you decent?"
Are you decent? Like she was...
Like they were fucking.
Yeah.
I would like
robot
maybe there's another hidden version
I really was hoping that... I kind of thought that was in this movie.
Yeah.
For some reason. Things were cut out.
Yeah.
Denise Richards fucking a T-Rex. My life would be complete.
But anyway, so yeah, they're cuddling. They're spooning.
Yeah.
And she asked him, did anyone follow you? And he's like, of course not. And of course they did, though. So there's like...
Show up immediately.
Yeah, like 10 squad cars outside. The doctor shows up. He's telling the cops, that he can sedate it, tranquilize it, and then take care of this whole problem. Well, the cops, or Byron's dad, Sheriff Black, is like, okay, you've got 1 minute kind of a deal. So him and Femme Girl go in there and...
He's got this big goofy looking gun.
Yeah.
And they just immediately get killed.
Yeah, they die immediately.
Immediately.
So whenever the dinosaur starts coming back out, now that they see, like, its mouth's dripping with blood and guts and everything. So the whole police squad starts opening fire on it. They mow down Michael. Yeah, and Denise Richards runs up there and then is like, "No, God, no!" And
everybody's gathered around, and all the police are crying.
Yeah, that's right. They have this scene where everyone's crying, and it's like, this doesn't make any sense. Like, yeah. So, kind of a weird hard cut to our end here, because we see this, and then, bam, Denise Richards is running happily up her driveway
Super
past her
happy.
mom and dad.
Yeah.
And they do make a comment like, it's good to see her happy, but it's strange with what she's got going on up there or whatever.
Yeah.
So
this
she's
is one of the weirdest scenes.
Yeah.
The movie.
So she has taken Michael's brain, placed it in a bowl, and has all these electrical wires and everything going to it to keep it alive. And she communicates with him via a security camera looking deal where she can't see him, but she can hear his voice.
Mm-hmm. He can see her and talk
He can
to
see her and talk to her, and she pours him a drink.
She pours like whiskey on the brain.
On his brain.
He's like, "Oh yeah,
Yep.
yeah, give me another." She's like, "No, doctor said one is enough."
And then we go into her seducing and getting him to the point of orgasm.
Yeah, the brain's like sparking. She has like a white feather boa.
Yep.
She goes and changes into like a white lingerie kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, I gotta say, as much as I love Denise Richards, her dancing was not.
That didn't do it for you.
Just kind of like, yeah, I'm sexy.
Yeah.
She's like, "You want more? Want me to take?" He's like, "Yeah, take it off, take it off, take it off." And the brain's like sparking and.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
It is
such a weird ending.
It is really weird. It's one of those, like, I kind of caught my facial reaction. Like, I noticed what kind of face I was making. It was kind of just one of like, like the whole time, like, of it's funny, but I'm also slightly bewildered. It's just like, okay. But how else do you end a movie about a football player who gets killed by a lion and his brain is placed into a dinosaur?
I think it would have been awesome if, like, he just kept the T-Rex body and, like, he went back to high school. He had, like, a Letterman jacket on. He was walking around with a little book bag. He's on the team.
Yeah.
He's
yeah,
like,
dude. That fucking song,
running back.
Song in the intro to this movie is fantastic.
Yeah, it's got another one. I love when these movies have their own, like, theme song. Mm-hmm. What do we had? What was the other good one? The Stuff has a good one.
Yep.
That's an amazing
Fall
one.
Break. Yeah.
This one, I love that. I don't think that doesn't happen anymore, right? The cheesy.
I feel like that's considered to be too cheesy. Yeah.
Oh, it's got to come back.
I think it should.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. So why don't you go ahead and give me your rating of this?
Oh yeah, I got to give this a 5. Definitely a 5. No question about it. It's just, I mean, you could pick this movie apart. There's like weird, cheesy humor that doesn't really hit, but the fact that you have that and this whole fucking concept, it's so wacky. Mm-hmm. It's just crazy. Mm-hmm. And then that's like I said earlier. Like, how did this movie get made? How? Who put money down to say, yeah, animatronic dinosaur, Denise Richards, we'll film all this gory stuff, and then like, nah, we'll cut that out, and mm-hmm. it was just. It's really awesome. And I forgot there are a couple scenes that I want to bring up that were so funny.
Yeah.
When he first breaks out of the lab and he goes and he calls her phone he goes to the payphone. So you see a T-Rex come up to the payphone, and then this is like the first time you see like the glove, the fake claw come out and dial the number.
God damn.
And then you see the T-Rex with the phone. And it's just, it goes to voicemail, and she's like, ugh. He
Yeah.
just groans into her.
God, it was so funny.
And then also when he is watching his own funeral, and then you see the T-Rex, you see him crying, and it's just like water just pouring down his face. So, and meanwhile she knows he's alive, and her and Byron are just kind of like laughing about the whole thing, like giggling at the funeral. His drunk dad or drunk uncle gives half a speech, and then the priest pushes him
Shoves him out of the way.
Like, let's get this over with.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's great. There's so many good little scenes and just weird. It's just weird, man.
Absolutely.
5 buckets of popcorn, definitely.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I mean, that's obviously no surprise. I'm going to give this one a 5. I found it to be, I might boost it a little bit more than some of you, if you decide to watch it, will feel. But I mean, I'm not kidding. This, like, instantly, it's up there for me. I would definitely put this in my top 5.
You were like, where's this been my whole life?
Where has this been my whole fucking life, man? It is fucking great. And I really do mean it, not in like oh, look at this terrible execution of an idea. It's fucking grand. I love it. Because you have to think that surely to God, some of the choices that they made with some of this, they're like, oh God, that looks so delightfully terrible.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not trying to make this dude out to be a genius, because once again, he did fucking make Mac and Me, and that movie is fucking crazy and not in a good way. But this is so good. It's like watching Dumb and Dumber with blood and guts and stupid props.
I mean,
no, maybe I'm just riding the high too much.
I mean, I wouldn't say the level of humor is there. No, I mean, I wouldn't say that. But
okay.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying.
You guys have to watch this fucking movie, and let us know if you've already watched it. I cannot wait to talk to more people. This is a party movie.
This is one to show. Oh, this is definitely. One to
this is
show
a party movie. If you are one of those people like us that we're like, oh man, we can watch this shit together. We can watch it on our own. We just love this kind of cinema. If you have friends who are wanting to get into it but haven't quite taken that leap, fucking show them this.
Normies.
And I guarantee you.
Show it to the normies.
Show it to the fucking normies. Yeah, yeah. And Paul Walker and Denise, I actually thought the acting was fairly good all across the board on this, really. And there's more names. You will notice more faces in this movie. There's a ton of people sprinkled throughout it. See, I've never really been like a huge, and I don't mean this like sound like an asshole, but Paul Walker generally just doesn't end up in movies that's not really my cup of tea. I've watched a lot of his stuff, and I'm like, yeah, he's fine. You know what I mean?
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace. Yeah, yeah.
Paul.
Yeah.
He lived his life quarter mile at a time.
Maybe.
Quarter mile at a time.
Yeah. I like to believe that his brain has been taken from his fucking body,
transplanted
into something.
It's a Vin Diesel's car. New Knight Rider.
Oh man, or maybe he's a Paul Walker, like it's an automatic walker.
Yeah. Old ass Denise Richards finds it today. God, I don't want to see old ass Denise Richards. I want to maintain. You
want to keep her? Yeah, she's like that forever.
Yeah.
All right.
Keep her in a jar in my mind forever, just like Paul Walker's brain.
Nathan, it's been a fucking joy.
Yes, it has.
Yes, this was a good one because I know they're gonna watch it. Dylan, Patrick. We wish you guys could have been here.
Wish you guys were our friends.
Yeah. Well, Patrick, he missed out because he was going to see what the fuck was it? There's something that has been brought to the Tennessee Theater. It was like Pinocchio on Broadway.
Oh yeah. He said he'd been waiting his entire life.
Yeah. Which I don't want to deny him of watching Pinocchio on Broadway. That's fine. Yeah.
I mean, Whatever a man chooses to do,
Yeah.
whether it's his choice in movies or his choice in how he eats wings.
Mm-hmm.
It's man's choice.
It's his choice.
Yeah.
Yeah. We love you, Patrick.
Love you, Patrick.
All right. Yeah. You want to call tonight and have a shit ton of alcohol to laugh about what we just watched?
Yeah.
Sounds good. We suggest you guys do the same. That's right. Alcohol abuse. It's fun.
Pour it right on your brain. Directly onto your brain cage.